Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Little Ruby's Daycare Encounters YouTube channel, where we emphasize play based learning, wellness, and research based solutions to issues in early childhood education. If you're new here, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, share, help us promote our channel, help us grow our channel. There's a lot happening here. And I'm especially excited today because this is something new and exciting. Wage is not new. This is a wage interview. Wage is not new. We've had a lot of wage interviews on this channel, talking about education in different countries. Wage stands for World Advocacy for Growth in Education. And with Wage, we are dedicated to interviewing educators from all over the world with the goal of comparing educational programs and practices. So this interview for today is going to be wage business. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of small business. How do we expand our small businesses? As we all know, daycare is a small, home daycare is a small business. And how do we advertise? What do we do? I mean, there's a lot of things we need to know about small businesses. And I have the very best right professional to come in and and talk to us about it. And her name is Kalonnie Lipford. And I'm going to bring her in and she's going to tell you all a little bit about herself. Well, hello, Kalonnie.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing so great. How are you?
Good. I'm fine. I'm doing great. You want to give us a little like bio about yourself? What do you do? And what kind of business are you in and all of that?
Awesome. Thank you. Well, first, thank you for inviting me onto your platform, onto your show. I am
Of
super
course.
excited.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I'm Kalani. I'm also known as Kayla. That's my nickname. And I am the owner and founder of Kalani's Gifts and Designs. And
Yeah.
we are a gifting service company. We specialize in gifts and promotional items and just helping you with all of your gifting needs for all of the occasions that you are partaking in by day, by the season, all year
Yeah.
long. And yeah, that's the basis of what we do.
Yeah. Okay. And I do want to mention that I worked with Kaloni at a daycare center, which was just kind of starting. So it wasn't like a huge center. And she was my director. She was one of my best. Can I use the word bestest?
Yes, you can use whatever you want. Yep, I'm in support.
One of the bestest director I ever had, hands on, art, artsy, always doing something, always trying to improve the program. So that's how I met Kaloni. And then from there, I became a customer of hers because she has the most gorgeous, gorgeous gifts baskets that
Thank
you've ever seen. And they are customizable as well. And
you.
would you want to show us some of those? I think you can take us to your website, maybe.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I am going to share with you my website. I've been in the gifting industry for quite some time now.
Cool.
It started off as a hobby, and then it kind of branched into a professional hobby. And
Yeah.
then in 2020, I decided to just go full time with it. And I wanted to just really explore the business aspect of it. So what I did was I just did some research to see what it is that it would take for me to really turn my hobby into an actual business. And so
Business.
these are
Yeah.
some of the gifts that we offer here. We have
Yeah.
all types of gifts for all types of occasions. These are our preset gifts, but then I
Hmm.
also have customizable gifts as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been in this business, this small business arena? How long have you been in it?
Yes. So I would say, as far as the actual craft itself, I've been creating gifts for about 11 years. I actually started when I was in I was in the childcare industry. I was a preschool teacher in Oxon Hill, Maryland, and I just felt like I wanted to just do something on my own and just create something and just have some type of ownership of something, not really understanding what entrepreneurship was, not understanding what business was. I just wanted to find out if there was a way that I could make money.
Doing your own thing.
Exactly. And then, but like I mentioned earlier, I'm fresh when it comes to, the actual business aspect of it, when it comes to, registration and, LLC and really advocating for my business instead of it being a hobby. So.
Right. So in your, in the gifting business, in the basket business, are you a sole proprietorship, or are you a partnership, or are you a corporation? What are you?
So it's an LLC. That's I wanted to do that because I thought that it would be a way for me to expand off of it and create its own entity. So I wanted to for me, this is an experiment. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but life is nothing but an experiment and it's experience. And so I thought that this would be the perfect way for me to experiment with business, and I wanted to do it with gifts. So I wanted to do LLC because it has lots of plans behind it. So created its own entity just to see how it would do without my, I would say without me advocating for it, if that makes any sense.
It does. So with my in-home daycare, I'm sole proprietorship. So I own everything. I own the rights to everything. I do my own thing. I make my own decisions and all of that. So it's very important to know where you want to place your business, in terms of these business ideals. Do you want to be a sole proprietor? Do you want to have a partner? Do you want to be a cooperation, LLC? Whatever you want to be, you have to research it and find out if it fits your business model,
Absolutely.
So what do you think are some of the benefits of your LLC business?
Let's see. So some of the benefits I would say is being able to, like I've just mentioned, being able to have its own entity. It represents itself. So growing it so that way I can, when it comes to being able to, if I want to, let's say, hire someone or I have a couple of people that do work with me, but if I really wanted to, expand it, I will be able to hire people under it, and the business will be able to pay for, their expenses or pay for the expenses for my business when it comes to taxes. So there's a lot of benefits to it. And to be honest, I'm still learning it. So I don't know. Again, I'm very fresh into it, so I am not as knowledgeable to where I will be in about 10 years. I'll be an expert. But I will say it was one of the hardest things. Well, not really hard, but it was a lot of research trying to decide what I wanted to do and how I wanted to register the business. Did I wanted to just do sole proprietorship, or if I wanted to do LLC or a partnership. I've had a couple of people that suggested they wanted to partner with me, and I was a little nervous about that because, like, it's my baby, so like if anything happens, then it's like. But yeah, so I'm definitely still learning. So I don't want to say that I'm an expert, but I did decide to do LLC, and there's some great benefits to it.
And that's a great thing you just said, delving into business, delving into small business doesn't mean you have to be an expert. You learn as you go, you learn as you go, all aspects of it. As you serve your customers, you learn their needs. You learn the location to be in, where you're going to make the best of money, and all of that. So it's a learning process. Even the big businesses, Walmart, Sam's Club, Amazon, they're still learning and improving on their marketing strategies. So when you want to embark on any business, don't be scared and nervous and like, can I do this? Do I know? You're going to know. You're going to learn by experience.
And you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Oh my goodness.
A lot. Okay. So, tell us how, and this brings me to this question. How did you start your business? Like that initial fear, can I do this? What do I do? Where do I get the location? Where do I get the materials? How did you bypass all of that fear and start your business?
I would say, honestly, I want to say my peers. My peers were pivotal into me starting it. I want to say again, as registering it and just really doing things in a way that would prepare myself for success when it comes to the actual business. So I can always talk about how I started as a hobby, but starting it something as a hobby and starting something as a business can be
Business is
a little
different.
different. Yeah. And so one of the things that I did was I did ask a lot of questions. I asked a lot of questions, even if, but sometimes when you ask a lot of questions, you get a lot of different answers. And you get people who say, well, you don't have to register it. Just do it this way. And, just make sure that, you are planning and things like that. And then you have people that say, no, you want to make sure you register it, and you want to make sure that you are, keeping up with your books and your accounting, and you want to know all of the things. So it's really a mixture of a lot of people sometimes giving their input. So you really have to just go with your gut and go, honestly, follow your passion. I always say follow your passion. So I told myself, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to start this. I'm just going to see what I'm going to start as an LLC. It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I don't know. We're just going to start it. And then I had to think about inventory. So if I really was going to do this, I had to invest in a little bit of inventory. I guess, they say it takes money to make money. So I had to do my gifting process a little different, because before, for 10 years, I would just wait until I got an order and then I would go shop. But I had to do it a little bit different. I had to say, because if I'm going to be, keeping up with the books and looking at the profit and the loss and looking at the margins, I had to also consider my time. And gifting industry is a lot of time. And so
it is a lot of time.
And then sometimes you don't end up with what you would want, because you think that you saved money when you're putting the supplies together, but you're not really calculating your time. And so I had to think about inventory. Then I had to think about what my logo was going to be. Did I want to keep the same logo that I had for a very long time, or did I want to make sure that it's understood from all markets? I thought about the name. To be honest with you, I'm like, dang it, I should have, did a different name. I didn't want to have Kalonnie's Gifts.
I love your name.
Thank you. Everyone does, but I just didn't want to be, I truly wanted to be different. I didn't want people to know that I was behind it. And, and that's something that's really important to me, because that it could be a leg up, because people want to support you because it's you, but then people who don't know you, I just wanted to find a way to appeal. So anyway, that's a different story. But, the name, also where if I wanted to just have it LLC in Maryland, or did I want to see if I can just make it nationwide? So I said, you know what, I'll just start with Maryland first. So that means that, I have to be careful when I conduct business in Virginia, when I conduct business in Pennsylvania. So those are all things I had to take in consideration. And so I would say, it was just a lot of planning. I knew my market, but then I had to kind of look at my competition. To be very honest with you, for all these years, I did not know there were other people that were in the gifting industry in my area. I didn't know. So this whole time I thought, hey, I'm the queen of the gift basket industry. And then once I started to really do some research, I said, oh, wait a minute.
There's a lot of people.
Wait a minute. I'm not the only one in it. I'm not the only good one in it either. So that was a real, that was really, that was a wide awakening, because that meant that, okay, well, like I said earlier, it's one thing to be able to have the support from your family or your close friends or even your community, but you have to expand further than that. And so those were a couple things when it came to the business. Also, business account, getting a business account and, going to the bank. And that was actually really fun. That was really fun. it made it official. I think that is what made it official. It wasn't like the LLC, or it was the bank and having papers with my name on
With
it.
your name on it and
Business
your
name on it.
logo.
Yes. So that was actually pretty cool. But, you know, that's always the fun part. The LLC is the fun part, getting it started, but really keeping it and maintaining it is the hardest part.
Yeah.
So
It takes dedication and, you know,
structure, discipline.
structure, discipline, love. You know, if
Yeah,
you really love something, it's not gonna, it might break, you know, but you can fix it, you know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So at the onset of your business, at the beginning, did you have to create a plan or like a mission statement or maybe a philosophy?
You know, that is one of the things that I also, when we talk about mistakes, man, I
Yeah.
wish that I would have sat down and took my time with goals
Creating.
in the business. Because again, I'm transitioning from hobby to business. It's just like when you are working a 9 to 5 and then you take the leap to become an entrepreneur. It's a completely different world. And so having goals and knowing truly what your mission is and
Yes.
knowing the reason and the purpose of why you're doing it
Mm,
will help you when it comes to you advocating for your business.
mm,
So, and it also will allow you to keep on track, because it does get very discouraging. When you start anything, the momentum is going to be super high because people are going to be so excited for you and they're
mhm,
going to want to support you. And then, to be very honest with you, the whole Black Lives Matter movement happened. And so,
mm.
because I am Black,
Yeah.
I did get a lot of support, but then I got a little scared because I'm just like, okay, you know how movements are. I'm like, okay, well, please, you know, just
Is
stay
this
with
gonna
me
go
as the
away?
bad goes away. Like, stay with
Yeah.
me. And so, you know, and then when the momentum dies, you have to remember why you started, because there's going to be a lot of quiet moments where people are
Yeah.
not liking your things. They're not coming to you. They may not come back. You see your competitors that are shining and winning and have all these, you know, likes and comments, and, you know, even to the point where you have a person who used to come to you and now they're supporting them. And it's like, whoo. So you have to go back to the very beginning, your why. Why did you
Yeah.
start this business? What is the mission behind this business? What is the purpose behind this business? Because
Yeah.
when all those other aspects or factors come in, you're going to have to face yourself and you're going to have to pump yourself back up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not do that, but I did do it recently because I was in one of
You
those
had
moments
to.
like,
Yeah. And with daycare, like, you know, I licensed in Virginia. You
mhm,
had to have all of these as part of your licensing process. So that helps when there's someone above somewhere, because your business is kind of just you know.
mhm,
But unlike daycare, there's the state, and they have already prepared papers and questions and processes. You know, they do help you start up, and then probably you move on from there. So they have with the application process to license your daycare here, you need a philosophy, you
mhm.
need goals, you need the kind of business. You know, there are forms you have to fill out, a business plan, you know,
Yep.
and stuff like that. So it's very important to have that at some point, not necessarily at the beginning, because like you didn't have it at the beginning, you know, but at
Mhm.
some point to have a philosophy, it kind of tunes you
Yep.
to success. You know, it takes you away from being haphazard all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, it gives you a goal that you're searching for or that you want to achieve, and that helps. That helps. It saves time, it saves energy, and it brings you customers.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you have to train anybody, to train yourself? I mean, to study, to take classes, to run your business?
Yes, yes, and yes. So I started to create, I learned how to create gifts from my amazing mentor. She's like my second mama. I love her so, so much. Her name is Stephanie Minnick. She actually owns a gift shop in Gaithersburg. It's called Occasions
I think
Gift.
I've seen her on Facebook. I
Yes,
think.
I
Yeah.
love her. And she actually hired me to be, just a store clerk about 11 years ago. And it was a gift shop, and I just would see all of these people coming in to her as this gift guru, and they'll come in and I was like, they'll say Sarah's having a 15th birthday, and she knew who Sarah was, and she knew what to give Sarah. And because these people have come to her, just like a photographer, when it comes to the newborn, the photographer is taking pictures of the newborn, and then when they're 1 and they're 2, and then so it's the same thing as the gifting world. You become part of the family, and so I loved that. I loved it, and I loved creating the gifts, and so I learned from her. But then when I got exposed to, I hate to call them my competition. I really call them my gifting sisters. That's what I like to call them. They're not my competition, because I adore and I love every single thing they all do. Everyone is different. It's truly different. And so, but I would say my gifting sisters, I would see that some of them would specialize in gift boxes, and some of them, were only worked with corporate gifts. So I had to kind of learn the design aspect of it. So yes, you can put things together and put the bow in it, make it pretty, but does it make sense? So I had to kind of learn the science behind that. So yes, I did. And then the last thing I did was I got a hold of Debbie Quintana. She is the owner of the Gift Basket Association, and she's located in Arizona. And so I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a trip to Arizona, and I'm going to just, learn from her. She opened up her warehouse to me to kind of show me around and teach me how to operate a gifting business on that level, because she's been in the game for a very long time, where she has warehouses. She coaches lots of gift designers. Matter of fact, she's having a conference this Wednesday coming up. And so that was my training too. So I did invest, a couple little bucks there to go to Arizona to learn in person and to see where I could go or where I could be. So, but yes.
Yeah, and I like how you say, first you're a business person, and then you become part of the family. And I've used your services, and my mother, my sisters, what they like. When I order a basket, you're like, is that for your sister? Okay, she doesn't like alcohol. She doesn't like this. Yeah, and to compare that to daycare as well. You're not just dealing with the child, you're dealing with the family, the mom, the dad, the grandma, everybody. It's a connected, how they say it takes a village to raise a child,
Absolutely.
It takes a village to manage a business, and the family you meet is a family that will refer you to another family, to another friend, to a neighbor, and that's how you grow. That's how people know you. So it's very interesting you mentioned that. And that's a true fact. Okay, let's move on.
I agree.
Okay, and I did ask you about training and studying and classes, and also in daycare, and you did kind of do an apprenticeship with the lady in Arizona. That's just the way daycare is. Caring for children. Sometimes people say, I have 5 kids, so I can open a daycare. Sometimes it really doesn't work that way, because there are rules to daycare that will not apply to your children.
Absolutely.
So it's very beneficial if you start from working with someone in daycare, work at a center, work at a house, work with a family, and get to know the nitty-gritty of daycare, and then you can start yours. It's very beneficial. And also taking classes that will benefit you and the children and the environment around you. So these are very important aspects of of business, and I'm glad we're touching on it.
Always, one thing I like to tell myself is to always just stay a student, no matter how knowledgeable you
Always,
think you are, no matter
always.
how, if I can create a gift with my eyes closed, but I have to
Yeah,
always stay a student, and I'm always
yeah,
asking questions, and I'm always befriending people like, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? And
yeah.
I am always open to
Asking
anybody who
questions.
ever asks me questions. I give the
Yeah,
answers because
yeah,
it's I because if I give you answers, you may know something that I may not know, and then that's
yeah,
how we become a partner. And
yeah,
so always stay a
yeah,
student and never be afraid to ask questions
yeah.
ever.
Never, yeah. That's a great. I'm gonna write that down, Kalonnie.
Yes,
Always stay a student.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So, out of all the strategies, oh no, let's. I think I missed one question.
Okay.
Let's talk about marketing and
Ooh,
advertising your business.
yes.
What are your strategies?
Oh man, my strategies. Let's see. So, again, I think, community.
Hmm,
Building a community with your followers
hmm,
and learning them and engaging with them and making them feel like they are a part of your journey. So
yeah.
you have to be careful to not overload them with a
Yeah.
whole bunch of pictures, but then a whole bunch of lessons and a whole bunch of quotes. You have to learn and give a balance, and that's just, you have to treat them like as if it's you and I. And so, which can be a little challenging sometimes because it is social media and you only have 3 seconds to gain someone's attention.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
but I would say the biggest thing for me is community, and also just giving free stuff, whether that's giving them a video of me dancing, having fun, doing a bow, or whether
Getting
that's,
their attention.
yeah, you
Getting,
have to,
yeah.
yep, you have to find very engaging, very creative ways to really reel them in a little bit, but not take advantage of them, if that makes any sense. Because sometimes people, especially influencers, sometimes they can take advantage of their
Of
community. They just
people.
pour
Yeah.
things out, and they're
Yeah.
just gonna buy and just go for it. And
Yeah.
I don't want followers. I want a community. And so
Yeah.
that could be a ding against me sometimes, because
Yeah.
that's just me, just being authentic. I want to be real with them. I don't want to sell you anything. I want you
Yeah.
to come to me because you trust me. I want you to come to me because you need help. I want you to come to me
Yeah.
because you support my vision and the dream that's for everyone. And so,
Yeah.
but marketing, it's especially because I'm in the gifting industry and holidays and things like that. So it's constant. It's constantly just
Constantly
new stuff
marketing.
all the time. You
Yeah.
got to plan 3, 4,
Yeah.
6 months in advance. So we're already, right now, all of us are planning for the holidays. So if you start seeing
Yeah.
Christmas gifts, it's because we got to
Yeah.
start planning the ideas
Ahead.
in our heads. Yep. So that's how marketing is for us.
Yeah. And I'm gonna leave your links on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I think you're on YouTube though. You're not really putting out content yet, but you're
Not
on
on YouTube
YouTube.
yet. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm
Yeah.
actually really shy, believe it or not. So,
Yeah.
it's a
We'll
little,
talk about that.
I haven't gotten there yet.
But I'm gonna leave all your links just in case people want to reach out to you. Buy your baskets. We're gonna leave your website, all your links in the description box below. But let's talk about, okay, with my daycare, just like you use social media. I use social media a lot. My
You
social
are,
media consistent. I don't, I
yes.
don't, I hardly will post anything personal on my social media sites. It's business, business, business. I want you to see what I'm doing. I want the parents to see that their children are not just here watching TV all day, playing. Well, play is part of learning, but like not playing all day. They are actually learning and doing things that are going to help them in the future and even in the present. So I use Facebook, I use Twitter, I use YouTube, I use there's
LinkedIn.
this LinkedIn. Do you know there's an app called Nextdoor, and it's right in your neighborhood, and you can advertise for free on Nextdoor.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's right in your neighborhood. Like, why would people travel when you're right there,
Yep.
Yeah. And Craigslist, and all of those, care.com, because I have a daycare business. So there are avenues out there for you to put your business out, for you to put yourself out. So for people to see what you're doing that's unique from what somebody else is doing. It's not about how many people are in the business or how
Yes.
many competition you have. No, it's about what is that uniqueness that you
Value.
have to offer, the value that somebody else doesn't have. And you may think it's hard. You're like, man, there are so many gifting companies out there. How can I be different? But everybody is unique, and you can put that little touch of your uniqueness in your business, which I've seen in your baskets, Kalonnie, and wow people, and you've wowed a lot of your customers. So there are so many avenues out there you can advertise with. So I talk too much sometimes.
No, I do want to give you your flowers though. You are very consistent with your
Yeah,
marketing. You've been like that since day one. I remember
since day
it's
one.
almost like I've grown with you because I
Yeah,
remember when you first started, you were like, I'm gonna open up my business, it's gonna
yeah,
be,
yeah. Remember when we talked about
from the
it?
very
Yeah,
beginning. Yep, I
yeah,
remember. And so to see you now, I of course I'm in, my background is childcare as well, and I love everything you do with them. I do feel like
okay.
I'm a part of what they're doing when you do Halloween
Yeah,
things, when you do Easter
yeah,
things, when you do Christmas
yeah,
things, and they're outside playing in the water, and
yeah,
that teacher in me is like, yes.
yeah.
But no,
Yes,
absolutely right, absolutely
yeah.
right.
Consistency. It doesn't matter what avenues you have to advertise. It doesn't matter how much they cost or don't cost. What matters is how consistent are you in putting yourself out there and putting your business out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the strategies we've talked about above, like social media advertising and word of mouth, which is
Mm-hmm.
very important, um, what do you think has been your most successful strategy to get your business out there?
Dancing, to be
Oh
honest.
man, I see you dancing all the time.
Man, my community, they love when I dance. And so I think I need to incorporate a little bit more, but I think TikTok would be great for me. Again, I don't know. I like to do it on the spur of the moment. I don't really like to do it if I have to do it, but I think I need to
Yeah,
start really doing it
yeah,
in TikTok because
yeah,
people they love behind the scenes, and like
yeah,
what you offer is behind the scenes. And
yeah,
so I think the biggest strategy for me is just showing behind the scenes, showing the before and after where the room is completely a mess. There's boxes and papers everywhere, and then showing all of the boxes, a order of 50 boxes, and then me putting them in a bag, and then having
yeah,
someone record me as I put it in the car. So it is a process though. And you sometimes you do need to have like one more person there, but if you
yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah.
get your little
It's
tripod,
okay.
put your
Yeah,
tripod at the end of the steps, push
yeah,
record, and then
yeah,
go downstairs with your bags. And so you got to be a little creative, especially if it's just you. But
yeah,
I think my biggest strategy is showing behind the scenes and showing the process.
yeah. So I wish we could show one of your dancing videos on here.
No.
Maybe maybe at some point we will.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Now let's look ahead, because if you have a business,